Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarot Friday. This is for everybody watching for Friday the 25th. So I hope everybody that is celebrating good food and good friends and family this week has had some nice time off. And I want to give you a little hint about what's going on in the astrology. So I just recorded the December 2022 forecast, and I kept messing up and calling it 2023. But December, this forecast right now, what's going on as we're closing out the year, December is a 9-month in the numerology. So this is a month of integration, synthesis, closure, bringing it all together and embracing everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the fat, the skinny, the short, the tall, the everything, the light, the dark, the part that we like about ourselves, the part that we hate about ourselves. It's a month of integration. And that also reminds me, of course, of integrity. So being integrity with yourself, not abandoning yourself, staying just kind of on course that you're here for. So that's the big picture. And that really does sum up a lot of the astrology of December, guys. As we enter December, Mars is going to be retrograde in Gemini. Neptune is going to be, there's going to be some squares to Neptune, and then it'll go direct in Pisces. Mercury will move into Capricorn and then go retrograde at the end of the month. Our full moon is going to be on the 8th at 16 degrees of Gemini. Our new moon is going to be on the 23rd at 1 degree of Capricorn. And Eve, we celebrate Eve in my family on the 23rd. But there's some other big things going on. The United States is going to have its third and final Pluto return, right? And I say final, but the energy doesn't really get out of it until later in 2024, honestly, because Pluto's in Capricorn. It's ending that phase. It's going to move into Aquarius next year, but it will dip back into Capricorn a couple of times. So it's not really fully in Aquarius until the end of 2024. And that's a big thing. And we're going to be talking a lot about all of these big themes in our 2023 predictions forecast. So I'm on a panel with Celeste Brooks of Astrology by Celeste and Sarah El Harar, the Astro Auntie. And we're going to be talking about all of these big picture themes like Pluto moving into Aquarius and what that might mean for us here, right? So we're having this beautiful workshop on the solstice on December 21st. It's at 2 p.m. Central Time. Hope you can make it. It's 90 minutes, $33. Well worth the investment, in my opinion. We've been working on the slides and we're giving you a big, powerful 90 minutes. So hope if that resonates with you, if it feels like something that feels like a yes in your system, you can buy a ticket at wiseskiescollective.com on the classes tab. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to have all your questions. Let's see, Chiron is going to go direct in Aries, and Jupiter is going to be in Aries, and Chiron and Jupiter are half brothers, and they're both in the sign of Aries, where there's going to be a lot of importance directed inward on the self, and so being your best self, right? This is self-healing, self-alignment. Two big brother planets are in that sign, giving you momentum to focus on yourself. This doesn't mean to the exclusion or to the alienation of other people, but it can be a very empowering time and a time of expansion, right? So knowing that, I've got a couple of cool articles for you if you want to go deeper there. Okay, so yeah, check out the December forecast. I left you a lot of good nuggets in it. It's here on YouTube or at our blog at wiseskiescollective.com. So let's take a sec and sink into the energy and just begin to feel into Aries. So for the weekend ahead, what is it that our Aries friends need to hear? Some practical advice or guidance, knowing that Jupiter and Chiron are strong in your world right now. Okay, so the 9 of coins and the 10 of swords reverse. This is about waiting on the harvest. This is a card of patience, but it's also a card of I want to say luxury, in the sense that you're out of survival mode. Okay, so Aries, I would set some intentions for getting out of survival mode if you're in that, and know that your wish can be granted. This 10 of swords reverse, this means that the worst is over. So don't punish yourself by reliving it, rethinking it, worrying about it. going back into it, talking about it some more. Just let it go and move forward with the full integration of all that was that brought you to this moment, right? And so you're in full approval of yourself and the things that you're doing to integrate everything into your life that you want to integrate, that you want to have synthesized. This is a time to be out of that fight or flight and to really be just here right where you want to be. You know, this is a card of patience. You don't get the fruit the day you plant the seed, but you've been patient. You've been really patient for a long time, which is hard in the sign of Aries, right? So there's a lot of sparks and fires, and it's hard to stay patient when things are sparking up. But just know that the worst is over, and you don't have to stay there. You can integrate it to let it go. Okay, Aries? Let's clear for our Taurus. What is it that our Taurus needs to hear for the weekend ahead? Some simple advice or guidance that helps them in their journey. Just clearing for our Taurus. Clearing for Taurus. Okay, interesting. So you also get the 9 of coins, but it's paired with a 2 of wands. And so Taurus, this is about having the world in your hands and still you yearn. Like everything's okay, but you're just kind of wondering what it would be like if you went in this direction. If you took a left turn instead of a right turn, and you're getting curious, is this all that there is? Is this as good as it gets? Am I ever going to have the thing that I want, or the relationship that I want, or the job that I want, right? All of these questions, you're yearning. This is a card of yearning, you know, and that yearning can take you to a great place of peace with your creator, because you're yearning for something that they're wanting to help you and assist you with. And so there's a surrendered style of yearning that's going on for you right now. And again, just like the Aries, you might go listen to the Aries reading, but this 9 of coins is a card of patience, and it's a card of letting things happen over time, that you're not looking for immediate results, and you are looking for something that over time is going to bring you a sense of fulfillment, but it doesn't have to happen all today, all right now. And so there's a sense of patience, and there's a sense of curiosity, and there's a sense of you know, like this kind of sensual side of devotion where you're wanting something, and in that wanting, that open-handed space, right? Something will come in and fill that up. It might not look exactly like you had anticipated it, but that's okay. You're kind of creating the frequency of a new direction. And so just let it happen slowly. Okay, let's clear the deck for Gemini and just see what it is our Gemini friends need to hear for the weekend ahead. Some practical advice or guidance that helps them on their path. Okay. All right, we get the 8 of Swords and the Ace of Cups reversed. So Gemini, something that you've really been tied up about, something that has kept you tied up, something that has taken your time, attention, and energy away from the things that you really love the most. You know, this is kind of symbolic of that person that has overworked and missed out on family time, or overdone something and missed out on their passion project, or let themselves be a little too worried about something that they could free themselves from, right? And so what can you free yourself from, Gemini? It's time to get back and spend the time with the people that you love the most. I'm sure that you've had some reminders this week of what you'd rather be doing with your life. And this is an ability to shift into that more full time. Okay, Gemini? We'd love to help support you if you need one-on-one readings. Just check in with us. Okay. After Gemini, let's see, comes Cancer. And so I'm just seeing what is it that our Cancer friends need to hear for the weekend ahead. All right, we got a 5 of Swords and a 10 of Coins reverse. So some of our Cancers are a little bit worried about money right now, having these battles where nobody wins. And it's just like, I feel like you're kind of feeling drained of resources, energy, time. This isn't an omen. This is just an acknowledgement of how some of you Cancers might be feeling a little bit like, you know, and do you have the energy to do the next thing? Well, I would say you do have the energy to do the next thing, but you do need to give it a rest. You need to give something a rest that has really just been draining you of resources, time, attention, energy, and start doing things that are a little bit more life fulfilling, so that you can rest and be really restored. Not that you rest and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, but that rest of like real restoration is what's wanting to happen for you this weekend. So seeing if you can help yourself get clear with that. Okay. And then after Cancer comes our Leos. Just seeing what it is our Leos need to hear for the weekend ahead, some practical advice or guidance. Okay, Leos, we got a 6 of Wands and a High Priestess reversed. So Leos, this is a victory, this is a win, this is success, this is doing something really well. Maybe you have incorporated a little bit more metaphysical side of your life into your situation. Maybe you want to, maybe you're meditating more, maybe you want to meditate more, but either way, what you're doing is working. How you're connecting and how you're leading your life is going well. So I would say continue, keep doing what you're doing. You're on a winning streak, and it looks like, you know, you're in the flow of life, and that feels really good. So yes, good jobs, Leos. Okay, let's clear for our Virgos. See what it is our Virgos need to hear for the weekend ahead. Just some practical advice or guidance, just something that helps them on their way. As we lean into this Virgo energy, we've got a 6 of Cups reversed and 9 of Coins. The third time the 9 of Coins came out, guys. So Virgos, you can look back to the Taurus and Aries readings to get another layer of what this might mean for you. But it looks like there's a lot of patience and grace that is needing to be extended through you. So are you a channel for patience and grace right now? That can be frustrating because maybe you want to play or relax, or maybe you want to get ahead in your work stuff, but it looks like something needs your time and attention, and it might require a little bit more patience and grace than you'd like to give right now. So know that, you know, if you're like, okay, I'm actually not in a place where I can extend that, and you can politely decline, or maybe you're in a place where you could put aside some things and step into a service role, as long as it's beneficial to you and everyone else involved, right? Okay, let's clear the deck for our Libras and just see what is it that our Libras need to hear, some practical advice or guidance, something that would be useful and insightful to our Libras. Okay. All right, something that's happening quickly. Looks like you might be getting yourself into a sticky situation. So just, I would say, go slow, pump the brakes. Anything that feels a little bit like triangulation, or too many cooks in the kitchen, or too many people in the house, or it feels like you need to reconsider some of the things that you're feeling like are fast flowing and moving quickly. Just be careful that you don't overcommit or agree to something that you'd rather not be doing. So this is just a little omen for you, Libras, to take your time with some of these decisions. It's okay if things are happening fast. The thing that's for you is not going to pass you by. It's not going to let you go. You know what I mean? So it's okay to take a breather, take a pause, and make sure that whatever situation or idea that you're getting into or cooking up doesn't put you in a place where it feels a lot more like triangulation than it does like fair and equal, right? So be careful with some of those opportunities coming your way. All right, let's clear for our Scorpios out there and see what it is that our Scorpios need to hear for the weekend ahead. Just some practical advice or guidance that helps them get clarity and understanding on the journey here. Judgment card and the Star card. Wow, these are two really powerful major arcana cards. So for our Scorpios, you know, this is a reminder that you're the star of your own life, and you are calling the shots of your own energy. And so the Judgment card, this can be, maybe you've got some judgment on yourself that you're working through, like really addressing some of those subconscious desires. Maybe you're working on integrating some of the subconscious with the conscious. Maybe you're working on letting go of some ideas that you have about yourself, right? Removing some judgment, or having some accountability and having some judgment about some of your actions. These two cards together are very powerful, and I hope that you'll use those words for yourself, not against yourself, in a way that helps you, you know, transmutate forward and propel your life forward in a direction that feels really juicy and positive and interesting and sacred to you. Okay, Scorpio? All right, let's check in for our Sagittarius. What is it that our Sagittarius need to hear for the weekend ahead? Some practical advice or guidance, just listening in, connecting in for Sagittarius. All right, we got a 5 of Cups reversed and a 6 of Swords. This can kind of feel like lost at sea, not really sure where to go, no agenda, no rush, no hurry, but it can also be this like downward spiral where you can kind of just get a little bit of those stuck feelings. You know, this setup feels kind of rough. So I want you, Sagittarius, to be really sweet to yourself, and to go ahead and grieve what needs to be grieved, but to not stay there for too long. Because you've got somewhere to go in this world, you've got somewhere to be, you've got someone to be, you've got an occasion to rise up for, and I just don't want you to beat yourself up or stay sad for too long. Like, go ahead, grieve all the way through it, jump all the way off, process it all the way so that you can integrate and move forward as the next, with the next chapter, the next season that you're looking for. This is a positive card. It reminds us to look where we're going and not backwards. Okay. All right, let's clear for our Capricorns. What is it that our Capricorns need to hear in the weekend ahead? Just some practical advice or guidance, something that feels like would really be helpful to them on their journey. Okay, again, the Judgment card paired with the Fool this time. So Capricorn, I would say, where can you just lose all of the judgment that you have and just go forward a little bit foolishly and just say, screw it. And what do I want to do? And where do I want to be? And this is the Fool card. Is there's an innocence to it. There's a naivety to it. And there's also a joy to it, you know? So where can you follow the beat of your own drum and kind of go in this direction that just feels good, just for the sake of it, just for being fun? You don't have to be responsible 100% of the time, and you can let go of any judgments you might have on other people that are doing stuff just for the fun of it, right? So there are a couple of themes for our Capricorn friends. Let's clear the deck for Aquarius and see what it is our Aquarius needs to hear for the weekend ahead. Let's get into the Aquarius reading. Okay, we got a 3 of Coins and a Page of Wands. So Aquarius feeling like a little bit more creative. Maybe you get a new stream of income coming in from a creative outlet. Just know that you're practicing some skills that are going to be useful later, and you're mastering something. And so just keep tweaking things. Just keep, putting it here and then putting it there and then changing the color and rearranging some stuff. And this is all about your creative process. It's not about getting it right or mastering it. It's just about the creative process and the journey. There's some really great dates for creativity in December towards the end of the month. If you need to set up some creative time for yourself, that would be a very powerful time to do it. Okay. All right. And then for our Pisces, let's clear the deck for Pisces. What is it that our Pisces need to hear for the weekend ahead? Just some practical advice or guidance, something that would be helpful along the way. Ooh, the Moon card paired with Strength. Okay, Pisces. So you're stronger than you ever knew. You've had to persevere through things that you never thought you'd had to persevere through. And yet that's a lot of uncertainty going on in your life. And so we can't know the full path ahead for you right now. And so this is about making peace with exactly where you are, giving yourself plenty of rest, paying attention to the lunar cycle, the lunar rhythms, especially taking great care of yourself next March. And so preparing your immune system for next March, preparing your physical stress to be low next March, right? This is a period in the next year astrology that will affect our Pisces and our Virgos, I think more so than the other signs, and if you have placements there. So just be aware of that there's some things that are unclear right now, but just let this be a time of rest and patience, because we're not quite sure what's coming. This isn't to scare you. This is just a reminder to get a lot of restoration, that rest that you're really fully relaxed, not like the exhaustion, but the rest that really restores you, so that when you come back to people, that you feel a sense of that you're happy, that you're fulfilled, that you have something to give and contribute. You're not showing up half drained. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. And for our universal reading, I've got the Yogic Path deck out here. A Yogic Path by Sahara Rose, and this other deck was the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. But if we're going to do a universal reading for all signs, just anybody that needed to get a little extra juju, a little extra mojo, some loving, let's see, what is it that we could all focus on for the weekend ahead? Shiva, my favorite. Shiva. Okay, so Shiva the Destroyer, right? Let me pause and look Shiva up in this book. Shiva the Dancer, Shiva the one who takes things away so that they can be rebuilt. That's on 123 here. Okay, sorry. Slow flip. All right, it says Shiva, the god of destruction and birth, right? So you can think of these rebirth, these very scorpionic and plutonic energies associated with Shiva. All right, so everybody, our universal reading is that you are truly on a yogic path. Shiva is referred to as Adiyogi, the first yogi ever. He attained enlightenment and abandoned himself in an ecstatic dance atop the Himalayas. When his ecstasy went beyond movement, he became utterly still. People could not understand his switch between ecstatic movement and stillness and thought him mad. However, 7 students wanted to learn how he was moving past physical limitations. Sorry, I just went to an astrological place in my head. Okay, so these 7 students, and it says this is how he began teaching yoga. Shiva planted the seed of yoga into the human mind. Pulling Shiva represents moving past the limitations from your society, body, mind, or ego. It represents doing the inner work to evolve. It is also a call to service, to teach others your wisdom so that they too can become liberated. All right, so Sharon Gannon is a fabulous yogi, and one of her quotes she says is, you know, liberation isn't for everyone, but it might be for you, right? And so this card of Shiva and thinking of self-liberation and thinking of all of the astrology we've been talking about in December and into 2022 and all of this self-alignment, self-liberation stuff. It's beautiful and it's deep and it's really the essence of what we're doing at Wise Skies. So if that sounds like a fun trip, come check out the classes and the syllabus. All of 2023 is listed on our classes tab. We'd love to have you and help you find out what that liberation is for yourself. Okay. All right. My heart is with you guys. I hope this has been fun for you. And thank you for being here. I appreciate your comments. They mean so much to me. Please like and subscribe and share. If you're like, oh, I know who needs this video today, send it over to them. And until next time, guys, have a beautiful weekend, beautiful life, and namaste.